What is good, everybody? You already know who it is. It's Sins. Welcome back to another episode of Double Take Diaries. It's such an honor, and I'm so grateful to be back here with each and every one of y'all on the couch, baby. You feel me? We back here on the couch. We back here on the couch, and there's a lot to get to, and we ain't gonna waste no time. Let's jump in like this. Kid Cudi attends the Saint Laurent Men's Collection Fall Winter 2024-2025 as a part of Paris Fashion Week in Paris, France. Um, and while he was in attendance at this fashion show, a crazed fan apparently broke into his house. A fan broke into his house. Now, honestly, our prayers go out to Kid Cudi. We are happy that no one got hurt in the process. Apparently, Kid Cudi, who is the 40-year-old rapper, talked about the incident online, and how people were trolling him online. So it looks like they was clowning him about the whole ordeal. I think it's more so his response to the ordeal. I find Kid Cudi, he's often in the media. He's often in the media, I guess, just trying to do things that really don't make sense in hindsight. Like when you're an artist, like instead of like dropping some new music, he's always doing some kind of weird shit in the media lately. I find. I think personally it's an indication of someone who's battling mental health and just trying to navigate the world that he's in. But a lot of people seem to clown Kid Cudi for the things that he goes through online, like from his car getting blown up allegedly, and all these. No, that's not allegedly. That actually happened. So there's a lot. There's a lot of things he does. You know what I mean, in the media that some would say like, "Are you doing this for attention?" Um, to me, at the end of the day, someone broke into his house. I think that's scary for anybody to go through. I think it's just the way he, the way he commented on it, and the backlash he was getting. He says the person that broke into my house was a crazed fan that has been stalking me for years without knowing me, without him knowing. He goes on to say this crazed fan has been to shows, events that he's done everywhere, from in the States to overseas. That is some dedication. Like, can we clap for this psychopath's dedication? That's a lot of life, of your own life, to give to somebody else you don't know. Kid Cudi goes on to say that this crazed fan broke into his house. He drove from across the country to break into his house, hoping to talk with him about collaborating and other ideas that he had. You got to be. I see why this is. It almost sounds fabricated to a degree. Like, the crazed fan was 34, a 34-year-old man. And you know what? I won't put nothing past anybody in the climate of this world today. But I just feel like who has the time with inflation and Trump's bullshit? You know what I mean? And the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef. Like, who really has time to just spend time stalking someone for that long? It's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you, but a lot of motherfuckers out here they losing their marbles out here nowadays in the 2025. Okay, stay on your P's and Q's. Dot your I's and cross your T's. Let's go. Goes on to say, there is nothing funny about this. So like I said, people are clowning him in the media. People are really just laughing at the situation. And I don't know why people think he's an easy target. They see him as someone, you could poke. I don't know if it's because he wore a dress with that dark ass eye makeup. I don't know what it is. I agree with him saying that his privacy was violated and now he has to protect yourself. I feel like before someone entering your home, uninvited, I think you still should have had to know that you got to protect yourself, especially where y'all live. Because we living in America, it's different. and it landed the free, home of the brave, and all that yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. At the end of the day, living in America is one of the most messed up places in the world. So people are heavily, severely traumatized who are from there. But I digress. I get not feeling safe now. Kid Cudi goes on to say he rummaged through my personal things, his fiance stuff. The person took a shower and ate. And then he goes on to say, all while thinking he was actually going to have a conversation with me. So I get it. I'm starting to see why people were clowning him for this. This sounds like someone he know. Really. How would you know all this? Did the person leave a letter? Somewhere in the crib? How would you know all these details? Wow. He goes on to say yada yada yada. He's going to be amping up his security in light of the incident, which just I you'd think your Kid Cudi, your security would have been amped up already. Like I don't to me, I see why people are clowning him. I'm not even gonna lie, but I'm glad that he's safe. I'm glad that all the crazed person did or crazed fan did was break into his house to eat some cereal. Well, he was going to talk about song collaboration ideas. I get it. I totally get it, man. Shout outs to Kid Cudi, man. Day and night. The lonely, you know what I mean? We love Kid Cudi. We're glad that he's safe. We're glad that all is well. Um, and in other news, legend news, Chris Brown is finally suing Warner Brothers and for $500 million over history of violence claims. Um, I believe when it comes to Chris Brown, there's been so many accusations against him from women that um, never were proved, you know, never were proved in a court of law. Like these things actually didn't happen. Aside from we know the very public incident that happened with him and Rihanna, and there's never a time or that a person should put their hands on another person, especially a man, their hands on a woman that they're in a relationship with, um, and vice versa, or a woman on a man, right? It's just when you're at that place in your relationship, it's just like, it's like who you have to become to exist in that place. Like it's nasty and it's dark. And we'll never forget that these were two young people that were deeply and madly in love with each other. So whatever happened in that car that night, I mean, I don't know. People speculated about it all day long, but I mean, Chris Brown would make he would make a mistake in his life that would prove to truly impact, different points and times on his career, because the industry very much so blackballed him after he did that. He would go on for many years to be snubbed throughout his career for the same old awards, yada yada yada, this, that, and the third. And so it's important to recognize that one, this is someone that has focused on growing as a person and an artist and a parent. And you know what I mean? I believe he's grown out of that phase of his life. I could be wrong. I mean, a lot of these Hollywood motherfuckers, you never know. Okay, it do be mad. There do be mad shit happening behind the scenes with a lot of these powerful people. But I just, in seeing Chris now in his evolution, hear me, Chris, like I know him. But in seeing his evolution as a fan, as a person who's watched him grow from, the minute he entered this game, you're looking at someone who's a father now, someone who's making history, pushing the boundaries of artists of his time and his generation and of this current generation right now. Chris Brown is a legend and he's still active. He's still raising the bar, and he's still passionate and loves what he does. And I think you've never heard another incident of him, going to that place where he once was with Rihanna. So it's important to recognize his growth. And it's also important to recognize how many people did him dirty, and what that cost him. You feel me? It cost him in so many different ways, especially monetarily. Can only One can only say emotionally, but he does, and he's always did historically what he does best, and he's a creator, and he's a pioneer, and so he continued to push culture forward. And we love the fact that Chris is suing Warner Bros. I hope he win every penny. I counted for it, because these labels, you think you could just deal with greatness any kind of way. And I'm not saying all of it's greatness. Nowadays, there's a lot of hoopla going on. You feel me? There's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? But Chris Brown is one of them ones, and you played with his name for way too long. So, Chris, get every penny. Get every penny you are owed, every penny you deserve, because you deserve that. We love you, Chris Brown. Protect Chris Brown at all costs. You feel me? And woof. I did a couple videos back. It was titled "Is Drake a Karen?" And I was laughing because in light of everything that is happening right now, with the complaint or the petition that he had against his label and Spotify originally, and then it went where he removed Spotify out of it. Then he had it against his label, and then as of recently, he's dropped the suit with his label, and now suing for defamation, and not suing Kendrick, but suing UMG for defamation. He's not suing Kendrick, because if he sues Kendrick, he really gonna look like a punk bitch, and it's already looking mucky out there for Drizzy Drake. I'm not gonna lie. This is just it is what it is. So I posed the question: Is Drake a Karen? And man, everybody's seen the Joe Budden episode. Everybody's been watching everything out there, and everybody's saying Drake's a Karen. And I think that's crazy. I mean, that's crazy, because I posed the question based off of what was happening at that point in time. And he out here showing his motherfucking ass. People have so many different ways that they're looking at it and what they feel about it. They're trying to frame it as Drake is doing this so that things are better for the next generation of artists that are coming up with these labels. Nothing's ever going to change with these labels. Period. This is the music business. They don't care about none of that shit you artists are talking about. They don't care. You know how much they don't care? A little nigga could be out here and pick up a microphone yesterday, but have a massive following, and that label want to tap into that massive following, and they want to capitalize off that. They want to capitalize off that one little moment. This, inexperienced musician, or not even musician, I can't say, that's crazy. This inexperienced so-called artist is having, based off of their audience, based off of how much clout they have. You feel me? So now you have a game that is oversaturated. It's oversaturated, and there's a lot of, you feel me? There's a lot of people in the game that have no business being in the game. They're not worthy of the title to be called an artist. It's simple. It's so simple. You feel me? These labels don't care how you feel, bruh. You shooking and jiving. That's how they see you. You have to understand, historically, for melanated people, for black people, especially in America, you understand? Because of slavery, the way they seen black people, the way black life was treated. Oh, you gonna shook and jive, you gonna dance for me. You know, they would take black women, put them up on displays, and laugh at their bodies, laugh at how they were shaped because they were voluptuous, beautiful, gorgeous, glowing beings. They would look at them and laugh. You feel me? They want to put it in you and train you to shook and jive, to dance. So these labels ain't hearing none of that shit you talking about, Drake. I don't care how. And you know what? It's crazy because we're talking about a nigga that got artist of the decade. I think, and all this that's happened with Kendrick, and that's how you know it's damaging. That's how you know this rap battle really damaged the perception of Drake. And really not just the perception. It challenges it. I think it challenges his catalog in a lot of ways. It challenges the way he's shown up as an artist, as a man, especially because of who he's going up against, Mr. Morale. Like we gonna stop acting like because you sold a lot of records, what you say matters. Boy, since Sam Cooke, they've been playing with us. Since Sam Cooke. Mr. Change gon' come. You know what I mean? Our legends really believed in that. You know what I mean? But the game is the game. I love Sam Cooke, and he was an innovator, and he was ahead of his time, and he was a thought leader, and he was an activist, and he was one of them real ones in music. But look at what the industry did to Sam Cooke. Now that's a small fraction. That's a small part of it. Then we have the fact that this is rap. This is rap, my nigga. I don't know. I'm gonna put this down. Let's clap it up for Ja Rule. We gotta spin the block and put some respect on Ja Rule's name. We do. We have to spin the block for Ja Rule and give that man his flowers. You feel me? We have to give Ja Rule his flowers because he stood 10 toes down on who he said he was and what he believed, and he was going up against 50. Can you imagine going up against 50? 50 really is one of them niggas that will make you want to, you feel me? Make you want to do, like, you feel me? He will get underneath anybody's skin. He's just one of them type of dudes. You feel me? So for Ja Rule to go through what he went through with 50 Cent, and then on top of it, you talking about 50 Cent. You talking about everything 50 Cent represented at the height of his career. And even now, presently, everything that 50 Cent represents. You feel me? And Ja Rule went up against that and stood 10 toes down, and y'all shitted on him. Y'all played him out. Y'all played him out. I'm not gonna lie to you. As a Canadian, I'm gonna be so honest. I expected more from the boy. I'm not gonna lie. I expected more out of Drake. I feel like, though I agree, someone making PDF claims against your name on such a scale is fucked up. We ain't gonna act like he ain't been shitting on niggas since he gained influence in the game. Influence, like, from the minute he got influence, from the minute Drizzy Drake got influence, because he was looked at from the jump, he was looked at as the corny nigga. He was wheelchair Jimmy. What you mean, bro? He was looked at as the kid from the suburbs. He was looked at the corny Jewish black boy. He wasn't that nigga. He had to gain that influence. Do you understand? And and the more influence he got, the more he kept, and this is what he's lost sight of. And I get it, because now you own your own plane and your house look like Fort Knox and all this shit. You lost sight of the shit that got you here, nigga. You was in the booth, you was in the studio. You was in the studio. This is why we loved you, especially kids coming from Canada who really love this rap shit, who really study the history of this rap shit and the history of, our people and our contributions to the game and to life and to this world. You feel me? We looked at him, we knew he was a biracial baby, but we claimed him as one of ours. We didn't care, man. He put Canada on. When you look and discuss Canada, you had to put respect on Canada's name because of Drake. He's the one that really broke down the door and created a way for like others to come through and come up. You feel me? And to be taken seriously. So we be honest, we not taking Drake lightly. But in light of the situation right now and his behavior, it's like, I don't know. Lord Jesus, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the defamation. Just as someone who loves the sport of rap, like someone who truly is passionate and a student of this rap shit, of hip hop and its origins and everything it's about and what it stands for, is like, this jeopardizes the authenticity of hip hop, of what it means to be a rapper. And this to me is coming from one of the realest niggas to ever do it. We not gonna act like Drake ain't one of them ones, you feel me? Drake is one of them ones. But I think it's time we start having discussions about separating the man from the music, separating the artist from the person, you feel me? Because he's a walking contradiction, like most of us. Like, let's be real. We're not gonna sit here and act like, fuck, man. It's easy to point your finger at someone and say, oh, this person is this, that, and the third, without walking in that person's shoes, and that being the reason why you view and why your perception is shaped the way that it is. Like, we all walk in contradictions. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't have moments where I contradict myself, right? But it's like, actively taking the initiative to grow into, authenticity, who you truly are, authentically. And I think this is something that Drake is running away from. And that's why there's that duality. We have Drake who's a rapper that will somehow sing the panties off a bitch, and then go step on the other side of the street talking about some real shoot 'em up type shit. And it's like, the thing about it is he's never shot anybody in his life. That's the thing about it, right? But when you're associated with niggas who live a certain lifestyle, and this is my thing with niggas who come from that lifestyle, right? It's like, when you start creating spaces for motherfuckers who never jumped off the stoop, like you jumped off the stoop, and you start making them feel comfortable with being in that world and identifying the way you identify, and wanting to feel what it feel like to come from where you come from. Because motherfuckers think it's cool to be a nigga from the hood. What do you mean? That's how we selling records. That's a formula. They think it's cool unless you actually talk to a nigga that's from there and really had to survive every single day of their life. Really had to jump off the porch in places like, you know what I mean? Really had to jump off the porch, you know what I mean? But then you have people who, I'm not saying haven't experienced adversity, but these people get into situations and positions because of people like this, who have come up and made a name for themselves and have influence and whatever else. And you get around these motherfuckers. It's no different than Tupac getting around Suge Knight. Like, if we being honest, like, it's no different. It's like, you get around hood niggas, you start feeling like a hood nigga. Till some hood shit happens. And I think there's this duality within Drake where it's like, where we've seen him vulnerable, but it's he's only ever usually been vulnerable about his mom. That's really saying something for a man that has such a precious relationship with his mom and be so maniacal to women, cold, callous, and just who see women as disposable. We love you, but we hear it in your music, and I mean, we don't. There's no soul. We're searching for the man. We're searching for the man behind these lyrics, the man in his music, so we could see like why do you think the way that you think? What inspires you? What influences you? Why would you know what I mean? So it's like in this situation where you in a rap battle, rap beef, in the history of you being who you told us you were, right? And now we like what we confused because you talking that gangster shit. If it's not that player shit, you talking that gangster shit, and you talking about the niggas that you around and you wealthy. So how much you could take this and you affiliated with certain people from where you come from that live a certain type of lifestyle, and you perpetuating what it is they doing. And these are motherfuckers who are shooting the city up, bro. So you're trapped between the duality of who you actually are and the pressure of who you feel you need to be because of, this world you've created around yourself and the character you are in this world. And it's at the same time, I'm like, this is how you should react when you're as egotistical as someone like Drake and talented motherfucker. You can't take that away from him. Boy, he talented, boy. We not taking that away from Drizzy. He talented. He one of them ones, man. But I think if we separate the artist from the person, the music from the man, and we just looking at the man, you looking at somebody who ego is so crazy that's like the thought of Not Like Us playing at the Super Bowl is it can't happen. You looking at someone who's so you have to understand Drake been running it for a very long time on a scale unlike any of that. We're talking about the artist of the decade. Yo, getting artist of the decade is crazy. And getting artist of the decade? Come on. That's insane to me. That's insane to me, boy. Look, I'm not even gonna hold you. Getting artist of the decade is like, what are we talking about? We talking about the artist of the decade, but we talking about rap. And I think that's where a lot of people are getting it fucked up because Drake is like, I'm artist of the decade. What are we talking about here? Kendrick barely drops music. You gonna listen to this dude who only talk about the freeing the people and freeing the slaves? Now that's another thing where we got to separate the man from the music. You feel me? And it's like we're looking at someone and this is what I mean. Like Drake is someone. I'm telling you, as someone who's from, you feel me? And just so you know, Canada will never become a state. Stop. But as someone, like he one of the ones, especially lyrically. So it's like, and you artist of the decade. So he's not looking like, he thinks Not Like Us ain't shit. He's like, what? I don't get it. He get it now. Oh, he get it now. He get it now. And they slap. Okay, let me tell you the list of artists of the decade. Just so let me put this into perspective of, so you understand like how crazy this is, right? But this is hip hop. Okay, this is rap music. This is what we talking about. That's the difference. Artist of the decade list. Look, at Elvis Presley, he won in the 1950s. The Beatles won in the 1960s. Stevie Wonder won in the 1970s. And for you Generation Z motherfucking little jit ass niggas, like, you can go look up who these artists are if you don't know them, because they prehistoric for you motherfuckers. Michael Jackson won Artist of the Decade in the 1980s. Eminem won Artist of the Decade in the 2000s. Drake won in the 2010s, and Taylor Swift won in the same time period. So it's like, how the I'd like to thank Beyonce, because how is Beyonce not on this list? That's crazy. There must be some kind of. Anyways, I digress. Though she's a bit creepy, we love Beyonce. Um, yeah. So I mean, Drake. I think the defamation lawsuit really is just his way of trying to get Not Like Us played at Super Bowl. And I'm not even mad at that. Like, I'm not even mad at that. So all y'all can act like he's just supposed to sit back and let this happen. But what if it was you? On a stage this big, everyone's screaming those lyrics. Damn. A lot of you motherfuckers can't even deal with niggas in your comments on some hating ass shit. What would you do with this situation? I mean, everybody can have an opinion. I understand why he's doing what he's doing, but I think for as a rapper, I think for the culture, I think he looks weak, and I think he lost sight of what it was that brought him into the game and made people fall in love with him, and that was his pen. And I said this again. I said this in previous videos that I've done, man. Drake, your pen is your friend. Your pen is your friend, my dog. And you ain't lifting that shit up, and you ain't putting reps in. So we're not gonna act like though. We're not gonna act like though. Between him and the label, there's a reason why he's not releasing his best music. I mean, ultimately, he needs to. That's his life raft right now, because our nigga drowning. He drowning out here, bro. The music is his life raft, and because we're not really getting anything that's really hitting in it, that's impactful from him. There are other reasons as to why his the things the music he's dropped, like No Face. There's a reason why it's not hitting the way it's supposed to be hitting, and then the label's really just honestly casting a shadow over what he's doing. They're not helping him because he's trying to sue him. I'm so certain UMG submitted a petition to have a dismissal of Drake's defamation lawsuit. And they're calling his legal actions retaliatory. He retaliating for some shit that he's already done to other people. That's happening to him now. UMG is moving aggressively at Drake's lawsuit. Yeah. They're petitioning in Texas to have everything thrown all together. Awesome. Boy, we don't give a fuck what you talking about. Not Like Us is our #1 record right now. That shit is the. You have to think about it. The labels, like like people don't lose sight. Like, this is the music business. Like, not Kendrick Lamar has a mini deal with UMG for distribution. So it's like, you guys are not, like, you have to understand the way Not Like Us is going up, the way that shit moved. Like, what are we talking about? Why would they want it to stop moving? Come on, 17-time Grammy Award winner Kendrick Lamar. Big Kenny. You understand? Like, they're not gonna. This moment is the way this label is capitalizing off of this moment. I don't know what Drake expects. As a guy who knows the business, he's acting like he doesn't know the business. But I get why he's doing what he's doing. I understand. I'm gonna ask this question every time I have to talk about Kendrick and Drake. I'm gonna ask this question. Do you think it's over for Drake? Like, I really want to know what y'all think. Drop a comment, cause every time Drake makes a move lately, man, it's like, just go away. You are so wealthy, man. Go to Turks and Caicos with a couple of bad bitches to feed your ego. Just get on the plane, go to Kirks and take Caicos, Turks Caicos, make new fucking memories and make some new music, bro, and give us that shit so we forget about the fact that Kendrick bitch slapped you from wall to wall all 2024. Like, at the end of the day, a lot of people are sick of hearing about this situation. I'm not. I think it's hilarious, really. I think it's funny, and I think it's only going to get deeper. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the world. So I wanna be extremely honest and transparent and let you know that a lot of this is just to distract you from the real shit that's really going on out here. So man, we're not taking it too serious, man. There are more pressing things happening in the world right now, and our prayers are with those in Los Angeles who are suffering from the fires, who have lost loved ones, who have lost their homes, who are displaced. For those who are displaced in the middle of those fires and already didn't have anywhere to go, like, my prayers are truly with everybody who is out there right now, dealing with this crisis out there. People could say whatever that they want. I think it's truly tragic. It's truly tragic to see what's been happening, to the citizens of LA, and my heart really is with them. To anybody who's lost their lives, let's just have a moment of silence. R.I.P. R.I.P. And whew, President Donald J. Trump. Well, Trump is, well, let's say he's not wasting any time. He is not wasting any time. He's out here. He's outside. Trump is outside with both feet. Trump is big stepping with the big steppers. There's a lot that he's been doing, changing policies, only recognizing male and female, and that's been, as gender sexist out here, and that's been a focus of his campaign, and that's been a focus of everything he's been doing out here. He is rounding our brothers and sisters up, who are from other countries in America up. Even if you look like you from a different country, but you was born in America, it looks like Trump about to arrest you or ICE about to get you and deport you back to where your parents came from. Like, the way they said, the streets of Chicago is a ghost town because of all the people ICE has arrested. Um, that's that's crazy. There are no words. I mean, in terms of American politics, I try to. I'm impartial. I think more so from how I feel about my brothers and sisters over there, and everything that Black people have had to endure over there has really, that to me is what really impacts me. I'm but the fact that he had his inauguration on MLK Day, I think, is a slap in the face. Trump has been very vocal about how he feels about Black life and Black people. A lot of you new generation babies don't know this or remember this, but Central Park Five happened in the 90s, and it was a group of young Black boys that was from New York, and they was in the park playing like teenage kids do, running around. And I guess a lady was beat up in the same park, Central Park, and she, unfortunately, God bless her, she was attacked and raped. And this happened by I think he was a Spanish dude, and these young boys was charged for the crime. They was coerced by New York police, and they was charged for the crime. Like, I'm talking about, like, you know 14, 13, 14, 15 year olds that were charged, and majority of them went to young boys detention centers in America, which is still prison. And then one of them went to actual like to the pen, to Rikers Island, and would go on to go to different penitentiaries. Like, young boys who's coerced into a guilty plea, and you know what I mean. But Trump's comments, not to get away from my point, Trump's comments, when the trials was going on for the Central Park Five boys, Trump's comments, he was putting in newspaper articles, he was paying ads and saying, look, like, bring back the death penalty on these kids. And these kids was innocent. He said, bring back the death penalty. I think we should just kill them. Like, it was crazy. And that's not verbatim. But, Elon Musk with the Roman salute was crazy. We're not gonna make excuses for motherfuckers and the decisions they make. These are grown people who know exactly what it is they doing. Like, don't talk. Stop with the bullshit. But you're giving your heart to. Like, stop with all that shit, bro. You always be on some weird shit. We don't know if you're human or a robot, Elon Musk. We don't We don't know the way. We seen that video of you moving at the inaugural. We seen you. We don't know if you actually human. We seen that video where you forgot your son's name. That was weird. There's a whole lot of. We don't know. Like, these motherfuckers is at a level and at a place where you just don't know, nigga. These niggas could be aliens. You don't know, nigga, infiltrating the system. But with that being said, Donald Trump having his inauguration on MLK Day and the comments that he made, I think it was extremely distasteful. And we appreciate and honor and love and praise and have the highest admiration and respect for Martin Luther King Jr., for Malcolm X, Martin Luther King's daughter, everything that she's doing through her initiatives, and as a woman of God, and as a preacher. I don't want to lose sight of what it is they were trying to do for Black people in America. I don't agree with nonviolent, because the circumstances Black people have always been up against. There comes a time when you gotta pick the boomer up and defend yours. You feel me? But I thought it was extremely distasteful. Um, Trump is he's an interesting character, but a character nonetheless. I tell people to remember that a lot of what he does is performative. He was in Hollywood for a lot of that was where he had aspirations to be. He's a master in, illusion. And so, I think 2025, if you're in America, it's a time to really think about your future and really think about where you are and really think about what you're up against. It's a time to really focus on how to pour into yourself, to create a space and a situation for yourself, where you have certain freedoms, so that at any given time you can do what you have to do for yours. Um, and yeah, with that being said, man, there's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in the world, and though, man, we cover here on Double Take Diaries, we gonna cover everything in the culture. You feel me? And there's a lot going on. We never going to stray away from hard shit. You feel me? Because I'm a real motherfucker. Like, I don't know what else to say. I'm a real motherfucker, and there are a lot of people going through a lot of real shit out in the world, and they censor you on this certain platforms so you don't say certain things. But I'm always going to push those boundaries, because what are we doing this for, if not for if not for the real ones? So I'm always gonna stand on real business, no matter what. no matter what. When you come here, if you mess with me on Double Take Diaries, just know sin is always gonna stand on business, and we always gonna have real conversations despite the foolery and the fuckery. And with that being said, man, we jumped into a lot this episode. I know, I can't believe we ready. We here. We at the end, but it's never really the end, is it? Come on, I got you for life, man. I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning into another episode of Double Take Diaries with Sins. It's always a pleasure and an honor to be here with you on the couch and have real life conversations. Cheers. Salute to everybody out there, man. Stay safe. Stay on your pivot, man. Have your head on a swivel, man. Dot your I's and cross your T's. And until next time, you already know it's another episode of Double Take Diaries. And we out.